That out of the way, let's get to our first question of the day. And our first email today comes to us from Joshua Toussait, who writes, we talk about Michael Fassbender not being in the best films as of late, but what about Jennifer Lawrence? From 2015 to now, her films have been Mockingjay Part 2, Joy, X-Men Apocalypse, Passengers, Mother, and Red Sparrow. She's elite, but could her selection of films hurt her career long term? All right, thanks a lot for the question, Joshua. And yeah, you're right. We've talked a lot in the last couple of years about Michael Fassbender, world-class actor, but he's been in some awful movies. Some of the worst movies of the last few years has starred Michael Fassbender. Here's hoping he's getting back on track with X-Men Dark Phoenix. But what about Jennifer Lawrence? You know? What about Jennifer Lawrence? She, like Michael Fassbender, elite, world class, top of the top, one of the most sought after actresses in the business. She's fantastic. I know a lot of people get tired of her and all that kind of stuff. Fine, but there's no taking away when it comes to, like, if acting was a mutant power, she's Magneto level. If acting was a mutant power, she's absolutely Charles Xavier Magneto level. She's just that good. She really is. You can be tired of her, that's fine, but she's just that good. But despite the fact that she's really good, the reality is like Michael Fassbender, she's had a number of stinkers in a row. Now, I'm not including Mockingjay Part 2 because there's a lot of people that still like Mockingjay Part 2. I did not, but a lot of people still do. But even if we take Mockingjay Part 2 out of it, Joy, which she was great in, but the movie was weak. Passengers, nah. X-Men Apocalypse, big letdown. Red Sparrow, again, she was great in it, but that did not live up anywhere near to its potential. Mother, which is just a mess of a movie. Great art, terrible mess of a movie. And these are her last 5 films. These are the last 5 films she's done. Now, she's got X-Men Dark Phoenix coming out with her and Michael Fassbender. Here's hoping that's a redemption movie for both of them. Now, one of the other things I want to say about all these films here, whether it's Red Sparrow, Mother, Passengers, Joy, X-Men Apocalypse, and maybe not so much X-Men Apocalypse, because we all know Jennifer Lawrence just phoned in her effort when it came to the X-Men films. But Red Sparrow, Mother, Passengers, Joy, she was great in all of them. Like, even though she was in bad movies, she brought it, right? As much as any actor can, she brought it. Actually, didn't she even get an Academy Award nomination for Joy? I can't remember off the top of my head, but something tells me she got an Academy Award nomination for Joy. Anyway. And you can say the same thing about Michael Fassbender. Even in the movies that are terrible, he tries to bring an effort at least. The question is, can it being in this many bad films in a row, has this hurt her career? Maybe. It's possible. I mean, right now, the only 2 movies she has coming up are X-Men Dark Phoenix, and then this other movie that's based on that true story called Bad Blood about, she stars as this woman who started this, I think, genetics company that was looking for a cure for something or other, but they did bad science and it turned out all being a scam and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the movie's called Bad Blood. These are the only 2 films she has upcoming. Now, that might mean nothing. That might mean she's just, lessening her workload because she's worked a lot in the last 3 or 4 years. Tons of work. So maybe she's just scaling back, wants to take a break. Or maybe it just means she's not getting offered as many roles as she was before. Maybe she's not being offered the big high-profile roles like she was before. Again, you put out these 5 films in a row, maybe it does affect her. So I'm not willing to sit here and say that being in this slump has derailed her career. I'm not ready to say that. I will say, though, hey, I mean, it's possible. Hollywood is a what have you done for me lately kind of business, and this is what she's been in. And even though I think it should be pointed, none of it is her fault. Mother being a mess of a film was not her fault. All she can do is act great, and she did act great in it. Joy being a disappointment, not her fault. All she can do is act her ass off, and she did act her ass off in Joy. And I'm telling you right now, I'm a big producer in Hollywood and I got a big movie coming out and it's an Oscar buzz kind of movie and I've got this juicy lead female role in it, I would not hesitate to put Jennifer Lawrence in it. Not hesitate for a second. But maybe there is something to that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think these 5 movies in a row, and maybe 6 if you want to count Mockingjay Part 2, do you think this has hurt her career at all? Or do you think, nah, this is a blip on her radar, she'll be fine? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know what you think. All right, let's move on to the second.